Hey guys, happy Monday. So this is a very quick word. Um, and it's just a word of that the Lord gave me and just letting him speak to me however he chooses to. Uh and I do that often a lot in the most unusual places. Like I'm just so used to looking for him in everything and trying to hear him in every situation, in every circumstance. And yeah, so I'm going to give you guys this word from last week. I believe it was Wednesday when I went to the dentist. And the dentist, it's funny because this is not my normal dental hygienist. The lady who cleaned my teeth, I believe her name was Deborah, which is significant in itself. But the lady who cleaned my teeth at the dentist last week was not my normal dental hygienist. In fact, she was telling me that they called her at 9 p.m. the night before, saying they're going to be short staffed and asking her would she come in. And she said when she came in, actually Monday was my cleaning. So they called her Sunday at like around 9 p.m. to see if she would come and fill in. She works at a whole different dental office. And she's like, I'm off on Mondays. So she's like, I was already planning to sleep in and relax and do all the things. But she said, I was like, you know what? Let me just go in and help them. So, because of her obedience and her willingness to sacrifice her own time for other people, y'all better catch this spiritually, God blessed me through that word, and she didn't even know it. God blessed me through her, and the Lord allowed her to speak. So she ended up coming in and she was my dental hygienist the first time I've ever met her. And one thing I noticed about Deborah is that she was so informative. And catch this spiritually, guys, because even Deborah in the Bible, and the Lord has had me read about Deborah for a long time. She was a wife, a prophetess, a judge. The children of Israel came to her for guidance, for advice, right? So catch this spiritually. Um, but she was more informative than any hygienist I've ever had. Like it was meant for her to tell me she wasn't supposed to be there, but she came anyway, right? When the Lord told Deborah to give Barak a word to go fight and go take down this enemy, Barak was like, I'll do it, but only if you come with me. Deborah in scripture didn't have to come with him. She could have said, no, the Lord is telling you to do it, but she went anyway. Y'all better catch this. She went anyway, right? So this lady comes in on her day off and she's telling me, this is my day off, da da da. She didn't have to tell me that, but God will use anything and anybody to get a word across to us. And we just have to make sure that we're always spiritually inclined to hearing the voice of the Lord because he will speak through anybody. Make sure that our spiritual eyes are open, our spiritual ears are open, and that we're not boxing him because a lot of you guys box him, which is why you're like, he didn't speak to me. He didn't say anything. I'm like, yeah, he did speak to you. Aren't you awake this morning? They're like, yeah. Okay, then he had to speak a command to wake you up this morning, honey. He spoke. It just wasn't in the way that you wanted, right? Anyways, so she's telling me, how they called her in late and so forth. And she came in anyway, and she began to talk to me about my teeth, right? She's like, you have very good hygiene. She's like, keep up the good work. She's like, but to get these hard to reach areas, she's like, make sure you're turning your toothbrush at a 40 to 45 degree angle. She's like, because to get the top teeth, she's like, most people just brush straight across, right? They brush their teeth straight across each teeth. And she's like, each tooth. And she's like, they're missing the importance. They're not brushing, they're just grazing over the teeth. So they end up with cavities and gingivitis and plaque because they're brushing wrong. She said your toothbrush should be at a 40 to 45 degree angle. She's like, so if you're getting the top tooth, and listen, guys, because I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. She's like, so if you're on the top set of teeth, turn your toothbrush upward to where it's facing the gum line. And she's like, that's how you brush. She's like, because you're hitting those upper hidden areas of the gums where plaque and gingivitis and cavities start. She's like, when you're on your lower set, turn that toothbrush downward to where you're hitting the gums and brushing. You're brushing the gum line and brushing your teeth, right? And she was telling me all the areas of the mouth to hit. And she's like, Most people, they grab their toothbrush. She's like, they just brush straight across because they're thinking, I need to brush my teeth. She's like, when you actually need to brush your gum line. She's like, but people, they don't realize that. Like your cavities, gingivitis, it doesn't start on the tooth. It starts at the gum line, at the root. Y'all better catch this, at the root. So she's telling me all of this information. And all my years of going to the dentist, I've never heard it explained like this. People explain in their own way, but God had her strategically explain it to me. And please don't comment in the comment section about how you're supposed to brush your teeth, because that would mean you missed this whole word and I'm just going to delete the comment. Okay, it's 2024. Y'all got to catch up. Okay, please do not comment, I'm a dental hygienist and this is how da-da-da. This is not what this word is about. Y'all do that all the time. So just forewarning, I'm just going to delete your comment. Okay, listen to the word. Okay, so she's telling me how to do it, and she proceeds to keep talking. I'm listening to her and talking back, and she's talking to me as she's cleaning my teeth. So I can't say much. I have no choice but to listen because my mouth is like, so all I can say is like, I can't close my mouth. So she's talking. She talked the whole time. And she proceeds to tell me, she's like, it's just like washing your face or your body. She's like, people think you're supposed to scrub to get dirt off. She's like, no, you just simply have to wash your body in the right motion, wash your body in the right direction. She's like, the dirt will come off if it's done correctly. If it's done correctly, right? She's like, the dirt will come off. You don't have to scrub. She's like, when it comes to scrubbing your face, people think the harder you scrub, the more dirt comes off. She's like, no, you just have to do it the correct manner. You just have to do it the correct way. You have to use the correct products. You don't have to scrub. And I was asking her, I said, oh, so our toothbrushes shouldn't be even medium or hard bristles. She's like, no, it should be soft. She's like, when you use medium or hard bristles, she's like, that's what makes your teeth sensitive. And you're drinking cold drinks and you're like, my teeth are sensitive. She's like, that's from all the scrubbing. She's like, your teeth are meant to be brushed, not scrubbed. And she's like, it has to be done the right way, 40 to 45 degree angle, and you're good. And using a soft bristle brush, say that 20 million times, a soft bristle brush is all you need. She's like, you don't have to scrub, you just have to do it the correct manner. You have to use the correct products, right? And the Lord just began to speak to me through that, guys. He said, it's not about how hard you work at something. Like when he gives you a prophetic word, when he tells you to do a certain thing, you don't have to work hard at it. He's not putting you in hard labor. You just have to do it accurately. You don't have to work hard to accomplish what he's telling you. If he's prophesying a word, it's already done. You don't have to work hard at doing what he's setting before you. You just have to do it the accurate way. And he brought me back to a word that I released in 2022. When the Lord gave me a dream, and in the dream, there was this young lady and she was teaching other women how to do something, but she was teaching them how to do it incorrectly. And I knew by how she was teaching them, they weren't going to win. So I began to teach them. I began to teach them how to do it, right? And when I woke up from this dream, the Lord spoke to me loud and clear. And he said, I don't want you to just teach them how to do it the right way. I want you to teach them how to do it the accurate way. Y'all better catch this. I don't want you to just teach them how to do it the right way. I want you to teach them how to do it the accurate way. And I will never forget that dream. And what God was saying is that just like Proverbs, is it 14:12? Yeah, Proverbs 14:12 tells us there's ways that seem right to man, but they lead to death. God told me, I don't want you to teach them to do it the right way. I want you to teach them to do it the accurate way, right? If we look up the definition of right, it means morally good, justified, or acceptable, right? Acceptable. But acceptable doesn't mean that it's the accurate way. Again, the definition of right means morally good, justified, or acceptable. But accurate means correct in all details, exactness. Okay, correct in all details, exactness, without fault, error-free is under the definition of accurate. And the Lord began to speak to me this morning. He said, the right way would be to follow me, right? He was like, the right way would be to follow me. But the accurate way would be to follow me and follow my commands and write those commands on your heart. to open your heart and your life to all areas of who I am and let me totally lead your life. The right way is to follow him, but the accurate way is to follow him, his commands, and write those things on your heart, right? The right way is to brush your teeth, right? That's right. It's right to brush your teeth. But the accurate way would be to turn that brush at a 40 to 45 degree angle and brush your gums down to your teeth, not just brush your teeth. That's the accurate way. The right way would be to wash your face every night. But the accurate way would be to do it in a certain motion, to use the correct products. You don't have to scrub your face. Just simply move in the right motions, use the correct products. So the Lord is just speaking loud and clear how there's a big difference between what's right and what's accurate. Right is just morally good and acceptable. There's a lot of things that's morally good and acceptable in this world that's not accurate in God's eyes. God is saying there's ways that seem right to man but lead to death. So he was telling me in 2022, teach them how to do it the accurate way, not just the right way, not just what people see morally acceptable or good, but my way, as in his way. So little did this dental hygienist know that she was speaking a whole word while just simply doing her job. That's why even whatever job God is sending you to, whatever job he has you at, even if you don't like it, God is still using that position. He's still using your purpose in that position. There's nothing that God does that's unnecessary. Everything is a necessity when God is in it. You never know how God is going to speak to somebody by you simply just doing your job to the best of your ability. He wants you guys to do it the right way. I'm sorry, the accurate way, not just the right way. Accurate, without fault, error-free, to exactness. He wants you to do it the accurate way, not just the right way. But to know what the accurate way is, you have to partner with God. It may be right to apologize, right? If I do something wrong, I apologize to the person that I did it to. But the accurate way is to make sure my heart posture is clear, that I'm not holding any hate or animosity. So I have to ask God to give me a clean heart, to renew my heart, to renew my mind. And then I could apologize because then it's authentic and it's real. I can apologize and still have animosity and hate in my heart. I can, but that's not the accurate way. The right way is to apologize because I was wrong. But the accurate way is to have a clean heart and a clear conscience and not to have any hatred in my heart when I apologize to that person. That's the accurate way. That's God's way. So whatever season you're walking into, whatever era God has you in, make sure that you're doing things the accurate way, his way, and not just what seems right to man, not just the morally acceptable way, but the accurate way. For many of you guys, this short but powerful word is going to pull so heavily on your heartstrings. But God is saying you don't have to do it hard. You don't have to do it hard. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to beat your head on the ground to walk close to him, to walk in alignment with his will. Just do it the accurate way. The ladies say you don't have to brush your teeth hard. Just do it the correct way. And when you do it the correct way, just like with your teeth, when it's done the correct way, when it's brushed the correct way, no bacteria or gingivitis or what am I looking for? Gum diseases can get into your mouth when it's done the accurate way. But when it's done the right way, you still leave room for these things to manifest. You still leave room for these diseases to affect your mouth sores, mouth cancer. But if you do it the accurate way, you're getting down to the root. You're cleaning the root. You're doing it softly. You're not scrubbing, but you're doing it accurately. And when you do it accurately, it's more powerful than any other method. You're hitting the root. You're getting to the root of the problem so that you don't have any problems. But the right way can still cause you to have issues. There's ways that seem right to man, but it leads to what? Death. God is saying, do it the accurate way. And some of you needed this short but powerful word today. Some of you guys need to be more obedient in where God has called you, the position he's put you in, and begin to speak life into people. Deborah did not know that God was going to speak to me through her just simply choosing to sacrifice her day off. Y'all better catch that. She didn't have to. Just like Jesus didn't have to die on a cross for us, but he chose to sacrifice himself for us. She chose to sacrifice her day off for me, for other people, not knowing how powerfully God was going to use her. So there's so many different words you can pull just out of this one message. It goes in so many different directions. So allow God to speak to you, because I can hit the key points all day long, but faith without works is dead. So do the work. Allow God to use this word to minister to you, because some of you, you're in that season, that era where you're going to need this. This is going to be that foundation that sets you on the clear path to where God is taking you. To do it the accurate way, not just the right way. To not do it the hard way, but to do it the accurate way. He's not asking you to sweat, to be tired and exhausted. That's you. You're doing it the hard way. He's just telling you to do it the accurate way, the error-free way, to exactness. God will give you the desires of your heart, but he's only going to give you the desires of your heart that are in alignment with his will. Doesn't matter how hard or how many flips and tricks you try to do. He wants you to bring your desires, your wants, your needs to him, but he's only going to grant those desires and needs and wants that are in alignment with his will for your life. So even in that, ask him today to position your heart to be in alignment with his heart so that your heart is accepting of his will and desires his will for your life. That is the word, guys. I'm going to get off here and get back to work. I love you. Have a blessed morning. And I pray that this word blesses you. Bye, guys.